Hey everybody, it's me making another video today. This time it's going to be my WrestleMania series number 6, I believe, either number 6 or number 7. But either way, it's going to be my WrestleMania video. This time I'm going to be talking about my most underrated matches. But before I get to this video, gotta say, it's kind of funny to see what happened to Terrell Owens. I mean, all the being the cancer and causing all those problems and all the teams that he was at, and now it finally caught up to him, and now he's without a team, and hopefully he'll probably end up with the Raiders or Detroit. Just don't put him where all the other good teams are, like the Colts or any other teams, because he'll do what he did to the Dallas Cowboys. I mean, to me, he's just a cancer, and when a cancer spreads, then there's just no way of getting rid of it. So hopefully no good team picks him up like the Ravens or anybody else, because he's just a cancer, and really nobody should have to deal with him, even though he's real talented and everything. But he just got problems and issues outside of football. He's just not a team player. But getting off that subject, because that's for a whole nother video, and many people are already doing videos about this anyway, which is a good thing, but I don't want to be the other one talking and not giving you what you want. Today it's going to be giving you my most underrated matches at WrestleMania. The list, we start off on the list with the Blue Blazer versus Mr. Perfect, WrestleMania 5. Very good matchup between the two guys who aren't with us. You had Mr. Perfect, who was undefeated. Then you had Owen Hart, who of course was the Blue Blazer. Very good, technical, fast-paced matchup that could have gone either way, and it made you believe that the Blue Blazer was going to beat Mr. Perfect. The way the offense that he threw at, the way the Blue Blazers offense was in this matchup, but in the end, Mr. Perfect won, and this was still just a fun, good matchup that just took you for a ride, and it just never let go. Even though WrestleMania 5 had a couple good matches that did that, but this match pretty much did it for me, even though there was a Hogan and a Savage and many other matches on there, but this was just a good matchup. I love it. Next match I got on here is Owen Hart versus Triple H, WrestleMania 14. The build-up was pretty good. The feud between these two was pretty good, with Owen Hart and Triple H trading the European title, and then Owen Hart wanting to get his hands on Triple H. And overall, these two had a really good technical matchup, which you saw a couple good moves in here. You saw China get involved in this matchup. You also saw Sergeant Slaughter get involved in this matchup. Overall, very good matchup. In my opinion, Owen Hart should have went over, but they wanted Triple H to go over, I guess, to continue the feud between these two, which will go from the most part of '98. But still, overall, this was a good matchup, and it pretty much led to the Nation and DX feud. But still, it was just one of those. It was just a good matchup that really no one talks about. The next match I got on here is Owen Hart versus Bret Hart, WrestleMania 10. Really, I already talked about this in most of my series. This was a very good. Underrated matchup. Probably the best opening matchup on any pay-per-view. Great technical matchup. Great brawling as well. You also had great storytelling in this matchup, and this was just a very good matchup from the beginning to the end, with Owen Hart in the end pulling off the victory pulling up the upset victory over Bret Hart. And then this would be the match that pretty much kind of made the feud better even more, and then it catapulted Owen Hart to great success, as he would be a tag team champion, and he will be European champion and an Intercontinental champion. But still, this was a very good matchup. Next match I got on here is Chris Benoit versus Kurt Angle. Very good, technical, fast-paced matchup. Good storytelling, good reversal of moves, good suplex in this match, and overall, this was a very good matchup that just took my breath away when I watched it. Very good, underrated matchup, and really a matchup really people don't talk about, because they talk about Owen and Austin or Triple H and The Undertaker. But they should talk about this because this was a match that just took you for a ride, and it pretty much set up more things to come between the two. The next match I got on here is a tag team match between Vader, Mankind against Owen Hart and British Bulldog for the tag team titles. Very good matchup. You had four of the best workers in the WWE, and they were going at it for the tag team titles, and this was just a fun, good matchup. And the only thing that kind of hurt this matchup was the fact that I believe it ended in a countout or a DQ with Owen and the Bulldog retaining, because I guess the ending was supposed to be Mankind or Vader pinning Owen Hart and Bulldog, but Bret Hart insisted on having a DQ to protect the two, so then they'd be able to form the Hart Foundation. But still, very good technical brawl matchup, and it was exactly what you would expect from these four. Next match I got on here is Team Angle versus Los Guerreros versus Rhino Chris Benoit. Very good matchup. Very good underrated matchup. Had a lot of good spots in this matchup, and this match just took you for a good ride, and it just never let you go. And the stuff with Angle, the stuff with Benoit and Guerrero and Team Angle was just legendary, and pretty much which was the thing that made this match even more better. The next match I got on here is Eddie Guerrero versus Kurt Angle. Now, I know I had this on my WWE best WWE title matches, but this is a very underrated matchup because many people don't talk about this matchup at WrestleMania. Very good matchup. I already talked about it in my best WWE title matches, and really let's just leave it at that. Overall, good matchup no one really talks about. Next matchup I got on here is The Undertaker versus Ric Flair, WrestleMania 18. Very good matchup. Good technical, fast-paced matchup between two veterans who are really good in the ring. And you also saw an appearance by Arn Anderson where he came in and spine busted The Undertaker, and probably one of the best spine busters I've ever seen from Arn Anderson. And just an overall good matchup, and yeah, good matchup between the two, and just took you for a good ride and just really never let you go. And that's why I have it on here, because it's really one of the best matches no one really talks about. Next match I got on here is Razor Ramon Jeff Jarrett. Talked about it in my last video. Very good underrated matchup between two workers who always had a good matchup between each other, and let's just leave it at that. Next match I got on here is Eddie Guerrero versus Rey Mysterio, WrestleMania 21. Very good matchup between the two, although it wasn't better than their previous matches in WCW, but it was still a good matchup to get the crowd pumped up, as WrestleMania 21 was trying to be good, and they were trying to they had this match to pump up the crowd and get everybody excited. Very good matchup, nice reversals, nice counters, good technical, fast-paced matchup, and this was exactly a match you would expect between two good wrestlers, which is Rey and Eddie Guerrero. Then finally, another good match on here, Shawn Michaels, Tito Santana. Very good matchup between two very underrated workers. You had Shawn Michaels, who was Shawn Michaels, and you had Tito Santana, who was basically jobbing in the WWE, but still, whenever you call on him to put a guy over or get a good match out of somebody, he's willing to do that, and that's what he did with Shawn Michaels. These two had a very good, technical, fast matchup, and the ending saw Tito Santana try to go for a suplex from the outside to the ring, and Shawn Michaels reversed it into a pin, and Sherry, I guess, was supposed to hold on to the legs, but she didn't, and that will be your matchup. But overall, very good matchup. Good matchup to get the crowd pumped up for WrestleMania 8. Then finally on here, I got the Rockers versus the Twin Towers. Just saw this matchup the other night on my WrestleMania Anthology. Very good big man, little man tag team matchup. You had the Rockers, fast, and then you had the Twin Towers, who were slow and big. Very good. The Rockers sold a lot for the Twin Towers. They made the Twin Towers look good, like the best tag team in the WWE. Very good moves by the Rockers, and then the Twin Towers, of course, showed their power in this matchup. And this overall very good matchup in the end, which saw Shawn Michaels get powerbombed by the Big Boss Man, and then Akeem do the big splash on Shawn Michaels. Anyhow, that's giving you my underrated matches at WrestleMania. Hope you like my video. I'm out. Peace.